answers?
I think I'm entitled.
You want answers?
I want the truth!
You can't handle the truth.
Welcome, guys. You're here. You're live. Tonight's episode of The Real Pat King on Facebook, YouTube, and X for all your viewing pleasure. Tonight's version of The Truth and the debut of the one and only Jayme Knyx's new song, Truth. Please, ladies and gentlemen, welcome my friend, Jayme Knyx. What's happening, buddy? What are you doing?
Just about to have a little bite to eat, and yeah, all good.
Yeah. So, Jayme, you got a new song here.
Yeah, I'm working on another one already called Breaking These Chains, but you know, we started Truth actually when I went to the UK. Started that one, and it's been a bit of a project, but yeah, it's
finally released, finally out there. What inspired you for this song?
Well, realistically, people that know me know I'm not a religious person. Okay. Do I believe in a creator and God? Absolutely. Do I feel that people have been persecuted since the beginning of time? Absolutely. I think a lot of people in Canada, including yourself, Pat, Tommy Robinson out of the UK, I could write a list of people across the world that face persecution on a daily basis for their beliefs, whether it's religious beliefs, political beliefs. And at the end of the day, you know, that Charlie Kirk thing really, really upset me. It really pissed me off. And I'm really just sick and tired of people not being able to say what they feel, have their emotions, have their own consciousness, their thoughts, without either A, being censored, B, being arrested, C, being fined, thrown in jail, whatever it is. It's like now all of a sudden it's illegal to tell somebody to go fuck their hat or hurt their feelings, when the reality is that's what keeps things honest. Right? You have to be able to call things out. You have to be able to have disagreements without getting shot. And I'll tell you, I was extremely afraid in London when I went on that stage, because now we're just seeing, now look what happened here in Australia, where we literally, people are getting hunted down like rabbits, you know, by absolute maniacs. You know, it is very crystal clear to me at this stage of the game. Again, I'm not a religious person. I don't think I've ever sang the word Jesus or in one of my songs. But what I do believe in is, again, people's right, or if they feel they want to hold a Bible and believe in God and pray, as long as it's not interfering other people's things, like blocking streets and roadways and, you know, preventing people from living their day-to-day lives, what's the harm in that? You know, more importantly, you know, you see these massacres that were happening in Africa. So there's an array of things, Pat. That's a really loaded question about what inspired me to take on this project with Gary Lloyd and another great songwriter. Let's just say this, just one moment. Just something popped in here. You know, the reality is we got to start making truth and telling the truth and being honest real, right? Like, when are we going to start making that sort of thing fashionable and trendy instead of pretending all the time about all this bullshit and how great we're doing all the time, when really, I mean, the video speaks for itself. I literally had a list, Pat, and my paper was right beside me of all the topics that we wanted to include in this video. And there's just so many, I couldn't put them all. So that's why we're going to do Breaking These Chains as well. Because we're just
I can't wait for that one. So, yeah. So obviously there's a lot of stuff that inspired you. Like I said, you are busy, but I want you to give it its intro. Let's let the people hear your song. Give it the running.
All right. Well, what do you want me to do?
I'm ready to load it. You just give it the Jayme Knyx pizzazz. How to kick it off.
Well, you guys, listen. I just hope you guys listen to the words of the song. You know, this song is, you know, it's a touching song. You know, you listen to the words of the song, and it says something. You know, it spoke to me. I didn't even get through when I first, you know what? It hit home to me. I didn't even listen. I'm so grateful for Gary and Heidi for including me in on this project. They're out of Nashville, and believe it or not, Heidi is, I believe, a Canadian. So Heidi McGee, Gary Lloyd, and we had a guitar player from Mexico. We did the vocals. Like, this thing was produced kind of all over the world. So it's a real, you know, it means a lot. And again, I'm very grateful for everybody that helped with it. And, you know, Pat, you've been persecuted as well. So, you know, this song goes out to, you know, all you people that literally are being targeted. You know, and at the end of the day, if we can't lean on our faith and whatever we believe in, I mean, we got some serious problems. So, you know, let's just let the truth reign and let freedom ring, because at the end of the day, if we don't have truth, we don't have freedom, why are we here?
Exactly. Right. So with that intro, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to play for you the first time on my live, the song Truth.
Thanks, man.
Even a blind man can see what we are all seeing, and yet you're trying to gaslight us into pretending like it's just all regular and that we are the bad guys. That is the truth. The truth does hurt, and people want to know who killed Charlie Kirk.
It's like a radiant beacon on a hill, drawing you close and holds you still. Carried by gentle warriors, clothed in God's will. Shadows try to hide the beams, but it shines bright for all who see. Truth can't be put out, silence trampled by violence. It's a roaring flame, proclaims can't be restrained, won't bend a knee, sets the captives free. Right here alive, yeah, you and me. Truth, yeah, truth. Thinking of those who carried the torch in their day, dreaming their dreams, walking their faith. Fearless of sharing Jesus' ways, paving the way. Sacrifice is not forgotten, but your light spreads love, still living. Truth can't be put out, silence trampled by violence. It's a roaring flame, proclaims can't be restrained, won't bend a knee, sets the captives free. Right here alive, yeah, you and me. Truth. can't be put out. Silence trampled by violence. It's a roaring flame. Proclaims can't be restrained. Won't bend a knee. Sets the captives free. Right here alive, yeah, you and me. Truth can't be put out. Silence trampled by violence. It's a roaring flame. Proclaims can't be restrained. Won't bend a knee. Sets the captives free.
Well, Jayme, banger, bro. Good job, man.
Well, at the end of the day, you're never going to silence truth no matter what. In fact, the more you try, the louder it's going to get.
Thanks
People
for
can't
coming on,
stand
Jayme.
being lied to or manipulated. So turn it up, guys. Let's go.
Thanks for sharing your song with us, and thanks for coming on, buddy.
No problem. Thanks, Pat.
Take care, buddy. And, you know, he's got it there. Truth can't be silenced, can't be put out and then silenced, and then you want to trample it with violence. You know, the songs, the words, everything, bang on, Jayme. So for me, to you, man, thank you so much for allowing me the opportunity to debut that song on today's episode. And for everybody out there, it's available. It will be available soon for you guys to download for your own personal use. But that's what tonight's about. Tonight's about the truth. Tonight's about all the episodes, everything that we bring out. Tonight is something that needs to be spoken about, from things that, ladies and gentlemen, how do we get to this mess that we are in? I want to bring to your attention some of the things that we've been watching in the media over the last few days, and things that our government has been doing to us. And now not only our government, you have the political division within the political parties with these floor crossers that are crossing onto the liberal side. And I know that the Liberal Party is the most corrupted party. I'm saying conservatives as well, NDPs as well, Bloc as well, all of them, they're corrupted. But right now, in our political theater in Ottawa, we are watching the manipulation of our democracy happening before our eyes. And nobody wants to speak on the truth of the matter, that this government entity that is our political theater in Ottawa does not give a shit about you, the voter. You, the voter, elected these politicians in. You, the voter, decided this was going to be my representative, and this is my representative because I have these beliefs and I want this person to represent me. And now you have a political theater being played out where Michael Ma has just crossed the floor again to give the Liberal Party and the Conservative Party an even floor. And there's rumors that there's another one going to cross. And we know about the rumors. They already know that this is true. But I want to bring something up to you guys. I want to show you something that has been brought to my attention more times than I can shake a stick at. I'm going to share my screen with you at this present moment, and I'm going to show you and ask you to remind you. Oh, let me bring this up. Sorry. Ta-da. You guys remember this? Do you remember this moment in Canadian history where counseling of mischief had two standards and two outcomes? I got 12 months for telling truckers to honk their horns, and the Liberal member of Parliament, Paul Chang, calls for a CCP bounty on a Canadian still on the ballot. Honk equals jail, kidnapping equals a teachable moment. This was a time that sits in my mind of how Canada is being destroyed. And next, I want to play this video to show you what happened to Joe Tay after this hit was put on him. Now, we're going to get into even more depths, but watch this video.
My name is Joe Tay, a Canadian citizen, former singer, actor in Hong Kong, and the Federal Conservative Party candidate for Don Valley North from last election. I'm here to give my first-hand evidence of foreign election interference. Presently, there are 300,000 Canadians who chose to build their careers like myself between Canada and Hong Kong. Transnational repression is real, highly sophisticated, coordinated, and totally destructive aim to silence voices, end careers, and erase people from their public life. For over 30 years in media, I'm blessed to become a household name within my community worldwide. Until 2019, when I openly supported the pro-democracy movement in Hong Kong, my career was abruptly terminated. I was told to stop speaking out or never work again. And days before the National Security Law of Hong Kong came into effect, I returned to Canada, yet the repression followed me and my family here. During my 2024 campaign, I faced non-stop foreign election interference. Number one, coordinated disinformation during election. Canada's Security and Intelligence Threats to Election Task Force identified a coordinated foreign operation targeting Don Valley North across Chinese social media platforms and Facebook, aimed to curb any positive coverage and amplifying made-up negative news of me, painting me as a fugitive to voters. Number two, summoned by the Chinese consulate. During my nomination, a venue owner who hosted a birthday party, and I was invited among many guests, was summoned twice after the party by the Chinese consulate for allowing me on the premises. Complaint was made to the consulate, sadly, by 2 to 3 local city councillors, of whom the owner was too afraid to name them. Number three, my bounty encouraged by a sitting MP. The most dangerous incident of all was when Mr. Paul Chang, a former Liberal MP, was sworn to protect Canadians, openly ignored Canada's clear position and condemnation statement by Foreign Affairs issued within 24 hours after my bounty, and allow me to cite part of the statement. The attempt by Hong Kong authorities to conduct transnational repression abroad, including issuing threats, intimidation, and coercion against Canadians and those in Canada, will not be tolerated. Yet, Mr. Paul Chang knowingly went on to organize a selective press conference attended by mainly Chinese consulate-friendly reporters, suggesting me that anyone who handed me to Chinese consulate could claim the $1 million bounty, expecting the press to make it more public. That puts me and my family in harm's way, and Paul making himself an instrument of CCP interference on the election. And to me, in my opinion, what's worse, it was the leader of the party then, of his party. Now our Prime Minister defended him and make excuse for Paul's for CCP position statement. Number four, harassment of my extended family. Hong Kong authorities interrogated and pressured my extended family in Hong Kong to make me a burden of my own relatives. Number five, administrative tools manipulations.
Now, it goes on further in that video to speak about how he knows about this Chinese infiltration into Canada. This has been an ongoing thing since the early 90s. There's been think tanks, there's been investigations, but nothing fucking happens. Nobody in our political realm is going to do the work on this. And I get excited about this because, guys, what are we going to do about this? What are we going to do about all of this nonsense that's happening in Ottawa? My key to this is this one.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Is this not why you are here?
Is that not why you're here? Are you here to be entertained? Are you here to watch Just for Laughs on CPAC? Because that's how I feel when I watch this bullshit. When I start watching our political entities who aren't our elected representatives, they are our selected representatives. We keep going on this rabbit hole, and I want to bring into your attention. Here's who Michael Ma really is.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Acting Consul General Hong Guo-chan of the People's Republic of China in Toronto.
好，接下来走来的是国会议员马荣章先生。
Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming and
That's Michael Ma being introduced at the Chinese party in September. This September just passed by the Chinese ambassador. Then we've got Michael Ma. Not only is he at the Chinese ambassador party being introduced by the CCP, the Chinese Communist Party, but watch this.
Wow, such a big welcome. Thank you. Thank you. All I want to say is Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and a great 2026 coming to all of you. Thank you, and enjoy the party tonight.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Is this not why you are here?
It just keeps getting better and better. So not only is he at the conservative Christmas party, showing them that I'm a conservative member, I was voted in the conservatives, my constituents wanted a conservative member, and now you cross the floor the next day? If that isn't a snake amongst the rats, I don't know what is. And then you have this video.
Some of you, and I salute you, have been liberals your whole life. Yeah. Some of you apparently came back from the dead to be liberals here tonight. Others, like me, are new to politics. I'm not a politician. Others are new to politics. I am now. Yes, you're right. Some may have just joined our party. Some, like literally, just joined our party. So let's give a warm welcome to our newest member of the Liberal Party, Michael Ma, the MP for Union Martinville.
Wow, such a...
I can't watch it. I can't watch it anymore, ladies and gentlemen. This is absolutely disgusting. It's a mockery of our Canadian democracy. I see some comments in here. This country is going to burn. It is burning. It's a burning already. They're throwing more gas on it every day. But what are they expecting from us? Nothing. Why? Because we're too passive. Because we're too caught up in our own daily lives. Because money is short for everybody. Christmas is coming. So they're going to make a mockery of this. They are doing this right in front of our faces. And for everybody out there, there are some serious concerns that I have, and I know I'm not the only one. I know that the 480 people that are in here watching on YouTube, X, and watching on Facebook, that you guys are all having these same concerns. But I can tell you this much. There are countries out there that are doing things. I don't know if you've seen Bulgaria lately. You've seen Italy, Mexico. I believe the other one was somewhere in an Asian country that they did something. Ladies and gentlemen, I think it's our turn to make that move. I think we need a citizens-wide strike. I think, in my own honest opinion, because I still have some freedom of speech, do I not, Mr. Carney? Do I not have freedom of political opinion? Do I not have the ability to be able to suggest that, hey, things are wrong and you're not listening? Because as you know, persecution comes when you speak the truth. And ladies and gentlemen, I do nothing but speak the truth for you. I tell you this for your own safety, for your own peace of mind, to bring this forward, to discuss the hard topics that people are so afraid to discuss. There are things going on in Canada that is scaring the hell out of a lot of us. And we have the right to be concerned. And so do you. And I want you to feel like you have the power to speak up. You have the power to use your freedom of speech. And don't let them ever take that away from you. And here we are in Canada, standing up to this stuff. And what happens? People such as myself are being persecuted for it. Why? Because we're speaking the truth? Because we're bringing up the topics that you don't want us to show? Because people are out here struggling day to day, in and out of what's going on? But hey, you know what, Pat? Don't talk about that. You're going to go to jail. If I got to go to jail for this stuff because I want to speak the truth, then I will go to jail for speaking the truth. And I would love to stand in front of a judge and have a judge tell me again that I am not allowed to have a freedom of opinion and freedom of speech. Because this is insane what is happening in this country. And we need to be able to be the voices. If our democracy is being destroyed and dismantled, we are the people. We are the country. We are their employers, not the other way around. And I don't know about you guys, but if I changed and went and played for the other team in a company that I worked for, I would be sued. I'd be taken to court. I would be all things under the book. But wait, there's more. And this is my concern for you, ladies and gentlemen, is this next video should really scare the shit out of anybody who's getting close to retirement, in retirement, or about to retire.
Canadian pension funds. They will come here next year early to deepen existing.
So, this is why we got to pledge. And the reason why we got to pledge is because the Canadian government does not actually control the pension fund. That's done by the CPPIB, Canadian Pension Plan Investment Board. They do all the day-to-day decisions. They decide how much where. Canadian government has general oversight, making sure nobody steals anything off the top, and they control the overarching framework, so how things are set up. It doesn't necessarily mean that they control the investment decisions, because they don't. So Mark Carney comes out here acting as if they do. No other prime minister in our history has come out to do that. Makes me wonder why he does it with such confidence. Does he have connections to the pension, the fucking investment board? If he does, it's a lot of corruption to deal with, guys. And liberals, you're applauding it. Yeah.
Do we do a deep dive on who the Canadian Pension Plan Investment is? Well, of course. In Pat King style, ladies and gentlemen, may I introduce to you the Canadian Pension Plan Investment Board. So, as you see, the Canadian Pension Plan Investment Board is a Canadian Crown corporation that manages funds held in the Canadian Pension Plan, acting on behalf of 20 million Canadian contributors and beneficiaries. The CPP is one of the largest private equity investors in the world, with over $368.5 billion in its entire portfolio. As one of the world's largest pension fund managers, CPP IB invests in domestic and global assets for the benefit of Canadian beneficiaries. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know about you, but I'm pretty sure I'm a Canadian beneficiary because I've been paying into this son of a bitch since I was 18 years old. And have I not been paying into it dramatically this whole time? You're absolutely right, I have. So have you. And now they are running away with our Canadian pension plan. I want to bring this up, and this is why the introduction of this for you, ladies and gentlemen, as I promised, I am about to tag everybody in this, and I'm going to make it part of this live in the top comments when I go back and edit it. But I have brought something forward, and I want to share with you guys. Let me just remove this, and I'm going to bring this one up. So for those out there that feel that there's nothing to do, I'm hopeless, I don't know what's going on, Pat, I don't know what I can do. Ladies and gentlemen, let me show you what I've done. I have put together a statement of claim form for every single person out there, the same way I put out the notices of liability, the same way I put out the letters of intent to all of you during COVID, when COVID was happening. I am going to do the same thing with no intentions other than you want to do this, you want to file these documents, go right ahead. If you don't want to, you want to sit back, you want to sit on the sidelines, you want to make everybody else do the damn work yourself for you, then that is on you. But Canadians, I am giving you an opportunity right now to file this with every judicial court across Canada. This will be available after the live in my live podcast or in my live comments, and I will make this form available. But this entail shows a statement of claim. Okay, it's in the Ontario Superior Court of Justice. You can file it. You'll have to change the top name for wherever you, and it is editable. Between Patrick King, the plaintiff, Mark Joseph Carney. Statement of claim. The plaintiff, Patrick King, claims against the defendant, Mark Joseph Carney, damages for breach of fiduciary duty in the amount of $1.5 million. General aggravated and punitive damages, a declaration that the defendant owed and breached a fiduciary duty, a constructive trust over any benefits or profits obtained through the breach. The cost of this action on a substantial indemnity basis, pre-judgment and post-judgment interest, and such further other relief as the Honorable Court deems just. Parties. The plaintiff, Patrick King, is a Canadian citizen residing in Alberta. The defendant, Mark Joseph Carney, is the former governor of the Bank of Canada and the Bank of England and holds international positions influencing financial governance. The defendant exercised authority, discretion, and influence over matters of public economic interest, placing him in a position of trust relative to Canadians, including the plaintiff. Facts. The defendant held a role that created fiduciary duties towards Canadians whose financial statements and economic rights were affected by his decisions. The plaintiff and Canadians reasonably relied upon the defendant's expertise, honesty, let me move it over just a bit, disclosures, and loyalty in the execution of his duties. The defendant owed fiduciary duties of loyalty, good faith, full disclosure, competence, and due care. Avoidance of conflicts of interest, breach of fiduciary duty. The defendant breached of his fiduciary duties by acting in conflicts of interest with international organizations, private banking interests, and political stakeholders, advancing global or private agendas over domestic welfare, failing to disclose conflicts that compromised his independence, engaging in conduct that contributed to economic instability, harming Canadians, acting in bad faith and contrary to the trust reposed in him. The defendant's conduct constituted a serious violation of the obligations owed to the Canadian public and to the individuals such as the plaintiff. As a result, the defendant's breach, the plaintiff suffered loss of income, financial opportunity, reputational and personal harm, psychological and emotional distress, impaired financial security. The plaintiff claims aggravated and punitive damages due to the high-handed, reckless, and malicious nature of the defendant's conduct. Constructive trust. The plaintiff seeks a constructive trust over any profits, benefits, or advantages acquired by the defendant through the breaches of his fiduciary obligations. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time. It's time that we take these politicians to task. I understand that for a lot of people, you seem that this is an arduous task and it's tough for each and every one of us to follow through with this process. If you are not willing to see this thing through to the end, which means you are going to take up time out of your life to attend court, to put your evidence in here, I please ask you, do not follow through. If you do not want to see this through to the end, do not file. But I'm telling you right now, I will always see this through to the end. Fiduciary law for each and every one of us Canadians is our trust. It's our right that we put these people in positions to take care of our money that we invest into these programs. And when they come back making profit off of each and every one of us, that is a direct violation of the fiduciary law. We will add more to this. Yes, Patty, I see what you're saying. I will add more to this. I will put in as much as I can. I am not an expert at this. I am doing my part as a Canadian citizen to bring awareness to ladies, to the audience, so that you know that you're not alone. I just put that number in there, Patricia. Really, Patricia, it should be billions of dollars. But I wanted a tangible, attainable goal. I don't want to look money hungry. I don't want to be that person out there that is going to, go for all of this money. Because remember, there's more of just myself filing this claim. And where is this money going to come from? Our tax-paying dollars. So for everybody out there that is going to file this document, leave it an attainable goal. Leave it to something that we can actually shoot for. You go make this a catastrophic number that is, inflated by superior amounts, you're not going to get it. But at the same time, I feel that, ladies and gentlemen, what is our other recourse? What is it that we are going to do? If I take to the streets, I'm going to jail. If we mass riot, we're going to get shot. If we do anything against these people, we're going to jail. What happens when you file these documents? You get them on our grounds. You get them on our turf. And now I'm not saying this is going to follow through. In every court, they may throw this out. They may say, no, we're not going to see this. But if a majority of Canadian citizens file this document in their small hometown courts, in their judicial jurisdictions of where they live, there will be one judge, I feel, in Canada that will see this through. There's got to be at least one judge in one province, in one city, that knows that shit is going sideways fast in Canada. And people in Canada need to stand up and push this forward. So, ladies and gentlemen, I am trying my hardest to do what I can from my home, to do what I can from the sidelines, because I've been sidelined. As we know, I've been benched. But I still know that there are other avenues that we can exercise. And I appreciate everybody's, I appreciate all your comments. I'm going to court this Friday again, and I'd like to bring some good news to you guys of what is going on. So as you all know, there were some fictitious things brought up while I was going through my trial. There was some bullshit allegations that I breached my conditions. We all know who did it. We all know how they did it. And we all know why they did it. But I can say this to you all in good faith, that the Crown has now recognized that the charges that were brought up against me, and they are now staying all my charges of breach. So that is one win that I have received for everybody out there. The Crown has expedited my trial from December 30th to December 19th, which is this Friday. They have agreed, well, not agreed. They know that they have nothing in these charges, and they have offered a stay in all charges for me. So I will be in court in Ottawa this Friday, probably via Zoom, and they're staying all the charges of the breach allegations. So for a win, and the 555 people in here, wow, that's a beautiful one. I am going to have those ones thrown out. Now, there's still one other case that is looming over my head that isn't set to be in front of a court until October of 2026. That one as well will be stayed. If not, we will be filing the 11B, and we will be filing for our right to a fair and speedy trial. The next one is obviously the appeal. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I know how you feel. I am lucky. I have got a job. My job does not start until Wednesday, but in the interim, until that day, we do have the Pat King Appeal Fund at gmail.com. If you care to donate, all funds go directly to my lawyer. But even in the appeal, we have found trumped up violations within the appeal process. This is a direct malicious intent along with malicious prosecution. The lawyer's name is Brian Duty. He has made it so there's automatic deposits that go into it. And if you care to donate, everything goes to Brian. He's given me receipts and he's giving everything. Now, guys, I am at this hard. I am not stopping. Albeit I'm doing it from the comforts of my home. At the same time, Brian is fighting in Ottawa for myself and you guys. Brian has been successful in getting these charges stayed. The Crown reached out to them because the evidence that we have brought forth to show that we are ready to go to trial on the December 30th, the Crown has went, oh shit. Ouch. The Crown recognizes that our evidence is massive. They don't want this to go to court because we can prove some serious allegations towards some people. So they don't want this in the courthouse. They don't want this to go to trial. I just want you to know that. And say what you want about my lawyer loves this money, money, money. My lawyer is doing this at a reduced cost because he knows the importance of it. My lawyer is doing this at legal aid costs. It's not like Natasha. And of course, I still owe Natasha a bunch of money. But at the same time, I've talked to Natasha. I told her what the concerns are right now, and I will work on getting those funds for her. So while you're watching this, Natasha, I understand. If you guys care to help with the Natasha fund that I've got, it's natashacalvino@gmail.com. At the same time, guys, once my job starts, I will be paying my lawyer fees. But do you see what this breach allegation has done? Is it got me fired from my job. It got me fired from my job. It lost me a huge endorsement for fundraising. It disrupted my life for over a year now. And I have been suffering because of this breach allegation, because of the trumped up allegations towards me that were brought maliciously. Not only were they brought maliciously, they were filed the day after our trial had ceased, after all evidence had been brought forward. The Crown bubbled the case, understand that they lost, and didn't get their 10 years, and they knew it was happening. So then he filed the breach the next day because of some other people's nefariousness. All that aside, here we are, ladies and gentlemen, still fighting the fight, still looking for the truth, still fighting from our armchairs, from our couches. I apologize for that. We're not in the streets. We're not doing anything like that. CSIS and RCMP, I am not indicating that anybody should take to the streets or no. That's the disclaimer. But at the same time, I am looking for anybody out there who is watching this podcast, who is watching this live feed. If you know of litigation lawyers in the Ontario province, please send them my way. I am looking for 1, 2, or possibly 3 litigation lawyers who are ready to stand up to this government. Because we have evidence that I will tell you this straight up to your face to these lawyers. You will set a precedence in Canada, I promise. You will vindicate the Canadian people with the evidence that I have. I'm looking for 3 litigating lawyers who are looking to help bring back this country. Help. I promise we have it. So if anybody out there knows any good litigating lawyers that are willing to put the work in and are willing to see this through to the end, I promise that we will get this country back and we will make it the country that we need it to be, that we always have known it was. And I understand the comments in the comment section. I hear you guys. I appreciate everything that you guys are doing and saying. I'm going to make this document available for you, but know this. It takes a village. It takes a nation. It takes everybody to work together. And to those out there that are trying to discredit and trying to defame and trying to peel it apart, stop. Nobody's against you. Albeit you don't appreciate the fact that I have a bigger following, or I've got a bigger voice, or I've done more. That's moot. The problem is not with me. The problem is with this federal government that is sucking the life out of each and every Canadian. Stop attacking me. Stop coming at me. And start getting back on Team fucking Canada already. And quit being so butthurt that you feel you got to expose this and expose that and do this and do that. Go ahead. I'm an open book. At the same time, I'm not going to stop. And also at the same time, I'm not giving you the energy that you so desperately are looking for. I'm done. I've got bigger fish to fry. I've got more important things. But one thing I do have, and that I am looking for, is the truth. Thanks for joining me, ladies and gentlemen. That's the end of the show. Thank you, Jayme Knyx, for coming in and debuting your new banger of a hit, Truth. And we'll close it off with that. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time. Get this document, see it through to the end, and always search for the truth. Good night.
Even a blind man can see what we are all seeing, and yet you're trying to gaslight us into pretending like it's just all regular and that we are the bad guys. That is the truth. The truth does hurt, and people want to know who killed Charlie Kirk.
It's like a radiant beacon on a hill, drawing you close and holds you still. Carried by gentle warriors, clothed in God's will. Shadows try to hide the beams, but it shines bright for all who see. Truth can't be put out, silence trampled by violence. It's a roaring flame, proclaims can't be restrained. Won't bend a knee, sets the captives free. Right here alive, yeah, you and me. Truth, yeah, truth. Thinking of those who carried the torch in their day, dreaming their dreams, walking their faith. Fearless of sharing Jesus' ways, paving the way. Sacrifice is not forgotten, but your light spreads love, still living.